All right, hard yarners. Delby's still away. Actually, he's back, but he's not back today. He broke his ankle in Bali.
Silly boy.
Yeah, silly boy. I did ask him if he was drunk or just uncoordinated, and he said both. So, but he might be back actually, maybe on Thursday with Cam McLaren. But we were joined by Emo, long-time guest and OG.
So good to be back.
Mate, it's always good to have you on. But before we get into what we spoke about today, mate, this episode's brought to you by alltradescover.com.au. Mate, John's a legend.
John Elliott. I've known him for years. I can't wait to catch up with him again. It's been so long.
He's a good man. He's coming in on Friday to record some stuff with us, actually.
That's what's up.
Just for the All Trades. And All Trades Cover. Basically, instead of focusing on what they cover, because there's such a huge variety on what they cover, who they cover. Basically, tradies, big businesses and small businesses, they're going to cover you. We're going to come up with a heap of things. I want listeners, if you can, maybe start DMing us and send us in. What's your biggest fuck up on site? And we're going to start reading it at the start, and that's going to be their clips. So your biggest fuck up on site, and then hopefully there's some funny things that's happened, and we can turn them into clips for All Trades Cover. But please do, if you are a tradie, if you are a sole trader, if you're a big trade company, you're a builder, whatever, renovator, I don't care who it is, if you are a tradie, electrician, hit them up, and they will give you a very competitive quote. Please drop our name, The Hard Yarns, because it helps us. And what helps us helps them, helps us. So
shouts out to All Trades Cover, my man John Elliott in this cut.
Mate, so good. Also, I love that these guys are on Crafted Finance. Thank you so much for getting on board. Crafted Finance. Basically, and I'm going to read this so I get it right because this is important. What type of loans do they do? Well, most of what they do is home loans. However, they also help many customers with investment, property loans, business loan, asset finance, and personal loans. So how much do they charge? Their services are complimentary. Think of it basically, whatever you get out of them or whatever loan you use out of them, they basically take a little bit of profit out of that. Doesn't cost you any extra.
You're not losing anything.
The banks are paying them to be able to recommend them. But these guys are good. They don't just go, I'm going to make more money by sending you to this bank. They want to give you the best offer long term. So get around Crafted Finance.
Shouts out to Crafted Finance.
Mate, they are good people. They are like-minded. They love what we're doing. I'm so happy to have them on board. So get around Crafted Finance. The link is in our bio and show notes, and you can probably just hit them on their website. But please hit them up. But today we were joined by Emo again. Maybe the 7th or 8th time.
Yeah, I've been here. I'm part of the furniture.
You are part of the furniture. We love it when you're here. So no Delby today, but we had I was going to read ghost stories today. I had a plan to do this, and we just went deep on Israel-Palestine, deep into just injustices around the world. But what did we touch on?
We touched on Israel-Palestine. We touched on politics, US and Australian. Mm-hmm. We touched on the grind, the hustle.
Libya.
Libya.
Gaddafi.
Revisiting our standpoints on how we viewed things in the past to how we make currently. And as a human being, it is perfectly all right to change your mind or to revisit something. If you thought you were right about something in the past and you're like, hey, wait a second, that was the wrong way of thinking. Revisiting is not a bad idea. So
mate, forgiveness was a big part of this.
Forgiveness,
moving forward,
therapy.
Yep, the world needs therapy.
I
think I might title that as
the world needs therapy.
The world needs therapy.
Yeah, man, the world definitely needs therapy, man, because we need to recondition now. We need to lead with love and empathy.
Mate, there is an awakening happening. People are seeing through the lies in the world, and today's episode was a perfect example of that, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Without further ado, let's get hard.
Yes.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Russo. I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Brand.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Well, I'm going to focus on that because that's actually income.
Do you want to cover this McDonald thing?
No, you're all good. No. I've got 2 now. So
Okay.
You just watch me fucking shit myself at the end of this episode.
Oh, you came with your own coffee?
Yeah, I already had one. So, fuck, but yeah, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. You're
You know I love coming up on here, especially when I'm back home.
OG. You've been, I think, and I say this every time. I think you might be one of our most regular guests.
Okay.
Like, apart from like a Wolfie, maybe.
Oh, Corey?
Corey. Yeah, but I think you'd be on par with Corey. You've probably been on like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. No, I love coming out here, man.
Yeah.
I remember from where it started, the foundation. Yeah.
In the front room in Kingsley.
Yeah.
But
How far you guys have come?
Yeah, mate. Well, I got a good little studio now. It's all like flashing lights, bro.
Yeah, man. I see you guys shining, bro. I see you.
Mate, there's just this little addition here of like just the screen moving in the clips, like the difference.
Just makes it
look a little more quality. It's good.
Yeah. I love it.
Wolfie was saying like the comedians over east were like, man, what are they doing? The hard yarns, like they must be killing it. Like, no, they just got an LED light behind it. It's just like
You guys are killing it, though.
Yeah.
You are killing it. Yeah.
Nah, it's going well. But speaking of
props.
killing it, man, you're killing it. Like fuck, you're going everywhere.
Yeah, well, I you know how I get down. I like to work, so
Well, that's what we're talking about just prior to the pod, like the hustle, man. Like Delby's, you were saying, like I don't get out work, but Delby's like that. Like his hustle was.
Yeah, man. Like I've always said, you can't outwork me, but like Delby's just out there, man. Like you see him doing his marital thing. He's doing his teacher comedy. I ran into him in Edinburgh. Delby just everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Melbourne. Like he's everywhere,
Mate, he's at a crossroads, I reckon, though, because the teacher comedy stuff's like killing.
Yeah, I saw.
So it's just like, do you get to a point like, and it's something he's wrestling with. He's been asking like, fuck, do I just like start?
Do I lean into that?
Yeah, lean into that and comedy, and then you sort of maybe weddings is a thing. But yeah, I don't know where his head's
That
at
teacher
with
comedy, like, because he's doing
money, man.
He's doing theaters now.
Yeah.
Doing theaters. He's done the Comics Lounge, which is the 500 seater.
Is that a 500 seater there?
500 seater. Yeah.
Is that Sydney?
No, that's in Melbourne.
That's Melbourne.
I did my my solo show. What year was that? I think it was like 2 years ago. Yeah. Like it's electric when you fill that room up, man. Oh,
yeah, mate, that's got some big names highlights that go through there. So yeah, fuck, that'd be awesome to.
Yeah, man, they've had such big names. Joe Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe did Kill Tony, like a variation of it.
Really?
Yeah, once, like in its infancy stage, obviously.
Well, look at how like people killing it over there now, like James McCann.
James McCann, that Kill Tony stuff.
Yeah,
like I'm telling you, man, like it's a breeding ground for comics.
Mate, Ari.
Yeah, Ari. Like Ari did his first ever show in Australia in Melbourne at the Comics Lounge.
Really?
Yeah. I don't quote me on exactly what it was, but it was his first ever something in Melbourne.
Yeah. He gives Delby a bit of shit. Oh, the rapper boy.
The rapper boy, fucking, he's cleaning up.
Yeah, and then even Kyle's getting. Mate, I guess the thing, have you been over to Austin yet? You tried to do it?
Yeah, I went to Austin not last year, the year before.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I didn't get on at the Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And right now I'm in between worlds because my lady's trying to get me to come out to
Canada?
No, to Austin in July.
Oh.
So the week of July 20th.
Yep.
But that's the week I land there in LA. And she's doing some business course in Austin.
Yeah.
So she was telling me to come down there, but like she's doing like 13-hour days. Like, what's the point of me going out there? Especially when I like
for maybe a sniff at a lottery of getting on and kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I can actually just hit up Laugh Factory and get back on the grind with that.
Yeah,
because I did some footwork in LA. Yeah, which is the chickens are coming to roost now. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
You see, I'm back in doing comedy as well, which is fun, man.
That's what's up, man. Welcome back,
mate. It feels good. Like it's funny because the pod became a very big priority after Fringe. Fringe killed me. It was fucking tough. Like I did a lot of sets and I did a lot of spots. So I was
and you're producing as well.
Yes, and running shows. So I felt good. Felt fine, and I just was like, okay, I need a couple of weeks break. And that couple of weeks break turned into like 3 months.
Yeah,
where I just didn't do comedy, and I was like, fuck.
And
okay,
you're just doing pods.
Yeah, I was just like the pod started taking off and doing really well. So I was like, focus on that, get that going. But then now I feel like the pod's self-sufficient, is growing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to do extra work for it to grow. Just keep doing what I'm doing, and I can focus on comedy again. And I had that Dane Swan show a couple of weeks ago at the Lounge, and I did a spot the week before at ECC, because I was like going to be rusty. I was like, I dust a couple of stuff, and I was fucking rusty.
Okay. Shout out to ECC. I'm actually hosting the shows at Johnny Fox tonight. So.
Oh, tonight? Yeah, sick.
So I'm looking forward to that.
It's a good room, man. It's big.
It's a great room,
it's big if you can fill it. Like
I've seen them fill it out, especially while I was over east.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I hope it fills up the way that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
'Cause that just looks electric.
The only issue is it's cold and rainy at the moment, so that's everywhere is going to struggle a little
Dude,
bit.
I'm currently in Melbourne, staying in Melbourne at the moment.
Yeah.
And like their cold is. I think people in Perth should just shut up.
Yeah, I agree with that one. But
it's a different kind of cold over there. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I went there, fumbled hard. Fumbled.
Hey, dude, we all eat shit from time to time, right?
Oh yeah, but it was good because it made me go, fuck, you can't just step back into it.
No.
Be good. So I worked on it that week, fucking crushed at the lounge. But then the lounge is the easiest fucking room to do in Perth because it is the best room.
Yep.
So
especially if you come correct, you know what I mean?
Yes. And I was good, man. I fucking did really well. Got some sick pops. And
I just did the lounge weekend that just passed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Good.
it was me, Troy Kin.
Oh yeah,
so
Kenny was there, right?
Yeah, so I closed off the first bracket, and then Troy closed off the second bracket. He was the headliner for that. We had a great lineup. Grant Mushet, Troy Kin, who else? What you call it? Craig Quartermain.
Oh yeah, cool.
It was in town from
Mate,
Brisbane as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So that room is because it's so good. It's like perfect lighting, perfect mics, everything. You're set up to just
Johnny. He said that he spent years.
Yeah.
Like tweaking it right down to a fine art. You know what I mean? And you could see
100%.
You could see that he like he had a vision.
Yeah.
And his vision wasn't quite where it was, and he would tweak this, tweak that.
Yep.
Even the microphone, like he tweaked it. He said that it was off a fraction.
Yeah.
And he had a specialist come in, and it's like that. Talk about doing what you love.
Yeah, man. He's fucking and
he can pride himself for having one of the best rooms.
Oh he's created something incredible. I was speaking to him the other day. I seen him at the gym. He's gymming now.
Oh, he's gymming now?
Yeah, he's gymming. He's keeping fit.
Good for him.
And he's like, you just got to figure out whether your heart's still in it, you know? Like, do I want to keep doing it or not? So So, like, it's that thing, like, he's always trying to push himself, like, okay, if it's not the best show ever, I need to, like, make it the best show. But then even that, is that enough? And he's like, I'm coming up with different ideas and stuff.
Yeah, man. And I'm seeing all these different concepts coming up as well while I've been gone. So I've been gone for a hot minute now as well, you know what I mean? So, like,
Manic Mondays.
Like
Wednesday, like locker room laughs with what I did the other night with him.
That was on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's Wednesdays. Not every Wednesday. It's like once a month on a Wednesday.
But that's on Wednesdays. That's good.
Yeah,
because then you're slowly starting to trickle. Comedy into every night.
And then Gong's on every
Thursday.
Every
Thursday.
I'm doing Gong this weekend, so.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
I'll
be at the Regal Theatre on Thursday.
No,
I'll be at the Fremantle Social.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on tour with Joel Vardy at the moment.
Oh, really?
The Comedy Cartel.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, nice. But yeah, so that was good. And then Friday night I did, fresh off the confidence of crushing at the lounge, and you go into a footy corporate, and it's like it was a heap of parents. It was a fundraiser for kids, and they're drunk as fuck. Rowdy. And then I was in a good spot. I had like second off the rank. I was like perfect. Like they're not going to be too drunk. This is easy for me, nice and slow.
Yeah,
don't have to follow Wolfie or anything. This is so good. And then Wolfie rocks up.
That's always the concern that a lot of people have. It's like, oh shit.
Oh man.
Wolfie.
Yeah. So, but then he rocked up early. And he's got his kids at home. He's like, oh, can I get on now? And then, and then we switch up. So I had to go in the second half. So everyone's drunker and very rowdy and talking a fucking lot.
Okay.
So this is good for like a Buddha, Brian, because it's good with the riffs and the crowd work and stuff like that. But for me, who's like a listen to me, set up punch, please.
Yeah. I spent a year developing my crowd work.
I have to because I realised that's the part of me that needs to. You can't just go, well, this isn't the crowd for me. You need to adjust.
I literally spent a year. So like the last year was crowd work focused because I found a kink in my armor.
Yeah,
and I was like, how do I patch this up?
It's the biggest kink in I think in almost all comedians.
Yeah, man. So once you get rid of that, that means a glass breaks, someone starts punching out.
Yeah.
Like you're not what was my line? Like,
correct.
You address it and you look less amateur when you address it in the moment. You know what I mean?
So I think that's probably over this year.
Yep.
Leading into next Fringe.
Yep.
Shitload of crowd work. And if that means I bomb a heap, like.
Dude, that's literally, I went from wanting to be the best in the lineup.
Yeah.
To asking to MC more.
Yeah.
And be able to do more crowd work.
So I'm gonna do that like on Thursday at Gong.
Yeah.
Gong's perfect to do it, man, because it's just like, who gives a fuck, really? Like, I don't need to get through Gong for any validation.
Yeah.
And trying new jokes at Gong is fucking silly. That's like, so, like, you might as well just fucking have a crack, do some crowd work, try and learn from it, and if it doesn't work, it fucking doesn't.
Yeah, man. But I'm wishing you all the best with the new attempt.
Yeah, mate. It'll be fun. But
yeah, man. Like, just remember, I go by what Kyle told me.
Yeah.
He said one day, he goes, "You live to riff another day."
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen is you bomb and you live to riff another day.
That's a fucking good.
Yeah, because
never fucking say that, Kyle. Like, he has a fucking good attempt to
because you
give
think,
some advice.
You think when you bomb, that's the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
No, comedians are always trying not to bomb.
Yeah.
You're always trying to have the perfect set. You're always trying to make sure that you kill it every single time.
Yeah.
But if you can just take that little time out to try to perfect the kink in your armor, then like it's fine. You live to riff another day. Like you're not gonna get unbooked because you had one average set. You know what I mean? Like it would just make sure that you only set a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Per set. You know what I mean?
Well, that's going to be my focus going forward, is trying to be able to crush and like hit it out of the park.
Strong start
in tough rooms.
Strong start, strong finish.
Yeah. Well, generally, because I always start with crowd work, but it's like set up crowd work. Okay. I have a general idea of what I'm going to say in response to a lot of the crowd work. It's like sort of lead myself into a joke.
Yep.
So, but if it goes well, which has been a lot of late, it's a great way to start, because people have this like a connection with you, like, he's not just like come up here saying jokes. So but mate, so that's what I was going to say to you. So the hustle, like, and Delby's like, I think we've been talking about on the pod, like whether that's a distraction from just focusing on yourself, and like, do you think that is for you? Like,
what do you mean focusing?
Because if you're constantly filling yourself with things to do, it keeps you entertained.
I did
you
therapy.
don't have to focus
I did
on
therapy
the darkness,
as well.
You know,
I did therapy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did fortnightly therapy sessions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What do you like? So why does that start? Just
like for one, I'm on the road a lot, like away from my friends and family.
Yeah.
I miss birthdays, Christmases, sometimes funerals and stuff.
Yeah.
So like if you got a fucked up car, you take it to a mechanic, right? Like, so like I'm just tuning up, like just making sure that I got the necessary tools to be able to do my day to day. So
that's good, man, because that's like. Yeah, well, that's a good analogy. Like,
don't wait for it to fuck up.
Yeah, don't wait for the car to fucking blow up.
Take it for a service. You know what I mean? Like, figure out how you can better communicate.
What sort of therapy? What are you doing with that? Like
it's just figuring out how to better communicate, both relationship wise, be a better father, be in tune with my mental, be in tune with just myself.
Yeah.
So like I do fortnightly sessions, and I'm proud. I'm proud that I took that necessary step, because like I don't know. Like, take it this way, right? Like I quit smoking 2000 and not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I was listening to an audiobook, the Alan Carr Easy Way to Quit.
Yeah, okay.
And by the last page, you quit smoking.
Yeah, right.
I was like, what is this sorcery? Like,
yeah, fuck.
I was like, how's this guy managed to hypnotize me while I just listened to this?
Oh, because you listen to audio.
Yeah, I'm just listening to it, and then by the last page, I'm talking about no cravings, no like, you're like, oh, I'll just smoke on Thursdays. Nah, I've not thought about having a cigarette since finishing the book, and it's the last page. It's like a literal, like there's like a ritual. He's like, hey, grab your last cigarette, light it up, inhale it. How does that make you feel? He'll say, finish it. If you're done with it, put it out. And once you've put it out, he goes, now get rid of everything that's attached to that. So that means the ashtray, the lighter, the remaining cigarettes in the packet.
Yeah,
you throw that out. And then he goes, you're free. I was like,
well, that feels good hearing
that.
Like,
he said, you're free. And because I did my last page at nighttime, I went to sleep.
Oh, and it's like a double downs, reinforces.
Yes, I went to sleep. And then I woke up the next day. I went to go pick up my lady from the airport, and I had realized it had been 3 hours before I had even thought about having a cigarette. And I was like, "Fuck, that's right, I quit."
Mate, that's sick.
So like when I don't know what the sorcery of that was.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, why don't I just talk to a therapist as well?" Because like from time to time I'm on the road. I'm feeling not so much down, but like I'm like, yo, like I want to be able to like better communicate. I want to be able to better like express my emotions rather than like shut off. Like I will shut off. It'll take me days to sometimes respond.
Yeah.
And I don't see it as a weakness or illness, but I was like, hey,
Yeah.
let's just figure this out real quick.
Yeah.
Because you're stronger when all of your when all your muscles are working. You know what I mean, so.
Well, how does it go with your partner then? Like, because she's obviously on the road a lot. Like, you guys will be apart a lot.
Yeah, she's on the road a lot as well. It's good. We spend more time together than we do apart.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's usually like a maximum of 3 months, but now we're going to be living together.
Okay.
So in July we'll officially be living together, but so I'm no longer going to be Perth, but I will be in Perth because I've got my kids here. So I normally on average, in a year, I'm here 4 months out of a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Because once I've done all the festivals, my cruise ship stuff, and then my international tours and stuff, it's usually about 4 months in Perth.
Yeah.
So, and about 3 months in America. So what I'm just doing is swapping out the 4 months in Perth to America and putting the 3 months in America to Perth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I'll still be back for my kids' birthdays, Christmases,
cool.
Easters, Fringe Festival.
And how do they go with that? That must be challenging.
It's a lot of FaceTiming.
Yeah.
A lot of FaceTiming.
I mean, that's a blessing these days, like that sort of technology. Like,
yeah, dude.
I'm going to Europe in 4 or 5 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that scares the shit out of me. Like, I hate being away from my daughter for more than 4 or 5 days. So
yeah, that FaceTime hit different, man. Like I remember my father didn't get to because he was in the army. He didn't get to meet my sister, the one that's after me.
Okay.
For 9 whole months.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he didn't get to meet her or see her.
Wow.
So like, imagine if we had FaceTime back then.
Yeah.
Then he could have been like, "Hey, this is your daughter." Show him. You know what I mean? But he just had to keep thugging it out while he was in the army, and then 9 months later, when he finished his tour, he came and he met my sister for the first time. Like, so I often think about that because I remember also like when my family got displaced when we were like walking from Sudan, from Ethiopia to Kenya when the war happened. Like, we were separated from my mum and my brother for weeks on end. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, and like, imagine if FaceTime or phones were around at the time. Like, you literally had to ask people, "Hey, have you seen this lady with the son with a blue shirt?" And like, that's how you track people down. You know what I mean?
Isn't that a weird juxtaposition that nowadays there's, and not nowadays, it's only like 10 years. How long ago were you doing this?
Which
wait, like going fleeing wars?
Oh, that's when I was 4 years old.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so my father and I were displaced from my mum and my brother.
Yeah.
And I think we were separated for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
On that journey from Ethiopia to Kenya.
Just no idea where they are.
No mobile phones. You're relying on describe. You remember back in the 1600s?
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for
draw a
Butch
picture.
Cassidy, and he'd have like a mustache. All it would take for him to get away is just to move to the next town over and get rid of the mustache.
Yeah. That's fucking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how you would have to like ask to track the person that you're missing. Well, I remember there's hundreds of thousands of people missing that look just like us. Yeah. It was Sudanese displacement. Like, it was people that look like us.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? But like,
and it's in poverty as well. So it's not like there's all these different fashion senses. And
it seems impossible, dude. But I remember when I went back for the first time to Sudan, right?
Yeah.
My cousin's family had like multiple cows, like they had like 30 cows.
Okay.
And they just kind of just roam around, and then by nighttime they would go herd and bring them back to the property.
Yeah.
And sometimes one would venture out a little bit further than the other, and he would go look for it. And I'm like, so how do you know
which is your
cow? And he goes, the same way that you know that this is your shirt.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, so, like,
just recognition,
like you know your freaking cows, dude. Like,
Fucking hell.
He's literally said the most gangster shit to me. He goes,
Yeah.
the same way that you would know that this is your shirt.
Yeah.
And like I know my shirt from your shirt.
Yeah.
So like if
Fuck.
my shirt was stuck in a laundry basket and I would have to try to identify it, like I'd be like, yeah, that's my shirt.
Yeah, it's got the little rip on the top or whatever. Yeah.
Plus I know the tag.
Yeah,
Like, he's like, yeah, that's my cow. It's got the little dot behind its ear. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, bro.
Fucking hell.
So like you'd literally hundreds of thousands of displaced people. You'd be like, "Yo, have you seen this lady?" And you'd describe down to a fine art, like down to a fine. Yes, we saw her about 3 days ago. That direction.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Like
That's hectic. But then that's the
we live-
juxtaposition I'm getting at is
we live in a lazy time right now.
Well,
where,
now
where
you-
things are so easy. You know what I mean?
that's what I mean. Like, so these, because there'd still be people displaced, still be people doing this sort of stuff. But
If you went
with
missing right now, they could track your iPhone now.
But that's what I mean. Like, they're in poverty,
Yeah,
they're
right.
displaced, and they've got an iPhone. Like,
Yeah.
That's a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah,
Like,
man, it's so fucking great. I think about it as well, man. I'm like, the fact that my family and I are still together
yeah.
is, I'm like, yo.
Well, man, like we've seen it again. Like, and you're being real vocal on it, so we can have a chat about it. Like the Palestine-Israel situation, and
Yeah.
we've been not reluctant to comment on it, but just uninformed.
Yeah.
And
well, I found that when I spoke up about it, one, I lost followers. Two, my content was getting buried.
of course,
Yeah, like my content was getting buried. Like I've got 26,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
So make it make sense why I'm getting 60 likes
yeah.
from having thousands and hundreds.
Oh, mate, we're definitely victim of that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
if
so
it-
like I kept my stuff was getting buried. I wasn't doing anything different other than the stuff that I was posting on my story. I was watching my monthly unfollowers, which is fine. Like if
Yeah.
If you like my Instagram is my channel. You don't like what you see, change the fucking channel. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like I respect you for that decision. Like that's fine. Like do you? But you're not gonna muffle me
yeah,
into like my country. Like first and foremost, like I come from a broken country.
yeah.
And like my country, 50 years, 5 million people died. Nobody came to our rescue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like to see this happening in real time, and we're seeing it, and they're saying, no, they're hiding behind. I've seen rockets being dumped on a civilian just walking.
Yeah.
Just walking.
Yeah.
Walking. With no justification. So like when you see that, like my biggest fear is if we are complicit and we're silent about this, what happens when that happens to us? Do we accept other people to be silent and complicit about our downfall?
Yeah, man, that's heavy, and that's the slippery slope that you sort of talk about.
Like, because it's always easy to say, oh, at least it's not us, but that could.
Even that, it doesn't matter. Even if it couldn't be us,
Morally, we have an obligation as the human race. Don't look at this as an Islamic, Jewish, or Christianity thing.
yeah,
Look at it as a human race. We, the human people, see an injustice like we saw with what's happening in Russia. We all were vocal about that.
yeah.
Don't cherry pick your battles.
And this is the issue. Like, obviously, Hamas is brought up into this, and they're like, well, this terrorist organization is holding their people hostage, basically, as a shield in front of them. And to a point, I
Dude,
understand that, but
real quick, yeah?
yeah.
There was an opportunity for them to capture Osama bin Laden at one point,
Yeah.
but they pulled back because they had fears that there was children with him. The casualty was not worth the risk. And Osama bin Laden was responsible for September 11th.
Yeah.
They pulled back on an opportunity to capture him. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's a big...
I don't know what you want to do with that information, but if they pulled back on Osama bin Laden, capturing him, and they wanted him too, they pulled back because of the casualty, the likelihood of civilian, like children being harmed.
Yeah.
Then please show some empathy.
Because obviously the ones. So I looked into this, and I've gone back and forth because at the start I was clearly like, has to be just like, how are these Palestinian people just being slaughtered, innocent civilians, women, and children,
openly live streamed
It's
to us.
ridiculous. Then I looked into the argument of the Hamas stuff, and I was like, okay, well, Hamas has just said continuously, it doesn't matter, we're not stopping, we're going to continue to do this until there's no Israeli state. And I was like, oh fuck, well, like, when do they stop then? Like, They've got to come to it and say, look, let's find a ceasefire. And I was like, fuck, they're both escalating it in their own way. And then I come back and then I realize that Hamas was created by Israel to begin with.
Yes.
And then I just see this escalation and this unnecessary death. And regardless of who you pick on a side,
I would never be able to find, like, in my heart of all hearts, I would never be able to justify killing children for the sake of capturing someone. I've got children.
Yeah.
I would never be able to justify killing children.
Even innocent fathers and mothers.
Dude, like, dead set, man. Like, there's been footages of them just humiliating men, like stripping them down. Like, honest, like, this has been going on for ages, bro. So, like, to say that it started on October 7th, is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is a
like,
ridiculous statement.
It's ridiculous. Like, first and foremost, it did not just start then. Like, this has been ongoing. What Hamas did was wrong.
Yeah,
and we acknowledge that. But then for us to acknowledge that, you need to acknowledge what you are currently doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if that is fine, then what they did was fine.
Yes.
So let's pick a side of the coin and be like, what Hamas did was wrong.
Yeah.
So you killing these children, acknowledge that you are doing something wrong as well. Because there should be no justification as a human being to be able to say, they're hiding behind children, let's kill the children too.
This is the thing as well, because that's a perfect example. You've just given a very good example of when someone will call out someone for doing something and saying it's a terrible thing, and then do the same thing in response
while doing it.
Exactly.
And this is not an anti-Jewish thing.
No,
this is an anti-Israel killing children thing.
Yes, exactly.
Like, we would not watch you kill children and put a justification for it, because if you're doing this right now, we should be very fearful about the future, about if this was to ever happen to us, because then people could just be complicit and be quiet about it as well. We must speak up about what's happened to the Palestinian people and people from all religions, like Christianity, is the Islamic community. The Jewish people are very vocal about it. The Jewish people are very vocal about it. This is not anti-Jew. This is anti-killing children and killing human beings.
Correct.
That's all it is. Like, don't make it what it's not.
Yeah.
And there's been so many Jewish people from the Jewish community come out and speak and be vocal about it. Shout out to them as well, because like they're obviously copping the brunt of it.
Well, there's a big difference between the Zionist leaders and the elites and Israeli as a country, or not a country, as the government. Yeah, well, even that's a fucking thing. But the Israeli government, the people at the top, the decisions they're making on behalf of the Jewish people, that doesn't reflect.
And this is not
helping the whole religion.
This is not helping the Jewish people, bro.
No.
This is actually putting them in harm's way. Like, globally right now, I see the comment sections, man. Like, globally, people, like, they can't even post something on Instagram without someone saying, "Oh, it was promised to them 2,000 years ago."
Yeah.
Like, I feel for those innocent people that have got nothing to do for this. But once again, like I said, you are complicit by being quiet about it because you are comfortable. So be uncomfortable, speak up about it, and vocalize that you are not on that side of the fence, and let it be known, because until we rectify this right now, nobody's gonna be happy. Like, nobody's gonna be happy. The people of Palestine are not gonna be happy. The people of Palestine need to be free. You can't say that they can't have their own state, but you require a state as well. Like, your state was given on the fact that they lost what's theirs. So let's find a way for both of you to live in the same. You will never be safe, and that's not a threat for me. Like, look at your surrounding countries that you've got right now. All Islamic, like all Muslim countries, all Arabic countries are watching what you are doing to Palestine, and it's only a matter of time for them to say, "Yo, if they're doing this to Palestine,
they're gonna do it to us.
They're gonna do it to us."
And you see that.
You are breeding more Hamas.
You see that's an ongoing cycle. That is,
you are breeding.
The US did it obviously when they went into the Middle East. They basically created the fucking terrorist organizations that were fighting against them.
You are creating a Mexican Joker right now.
Yeah,
man. Like, you're creating the joke. This is the origin story.
But and then that's not to discount that what has happened. And people will instantly go, yeah, well, what about Hamas and what about this and but like, no killing is justified.
Just look yourself in the heart, look yourself like inside, and just be like, hey, is this going to get me the outcome that I'm looking for? Is this making my people feel safer? because you are not going to bully your way through this right now. Let's remember, there was a time in history, and which camera am I looking at?
That one.
Where apartheid was a thing. And guess what stopped it? When the global world was put onto it and everybody could see what the South Africans were doing to the black South Africans. You are on the stage right now. What you do with that next move is entirely up to you. The world is watching.
That's true, man. And it's the thing, like I've seen, and this is creating almost more anti-Semitism.
Dude, it is not decreasing it. Matter of fact, you are like radicalizing people. Like people that wouldn't otherwise ever look in that direction are looking in that direction right now.
Correct. And
Like-
even Trump has distanced himself from
Who hasn't? France
Yeah.
just said we need a 2-state solution. Palestine needs its own. It needs to be recognized as its own sovereignty. And Israel is unhappy about that.
Yeah.
How can you be unhappy about that when you were looking for the exact same thing? How can you having a home have to mean someone has to be displaced for that? Nah, man.
Yeah. And then it just seems like, and Trump was growing weary of this solution that they were trying to get to. They're trying to breed peace.
Yeah.
And Netanyahu just seems to be like, no, it's a proxy way of starting a war with Iran.
Yeah, dude.
And like, there's so many. Fucking just stop killing people. I know
Dude,
that sounds so simple
It
and
is
so broadly simplistic.
There is nothing more disgusting and frowned upon than the killing of children. Nobody is ever going to get behind that. No, that is how you lose. That's not how you lose. That's how you've lost. The people's respect.
I mean, look at what Kanye's doing now. Like his song,
Yeah.
it's
Dude,
reflective of what the people are feeling.
People love that song right
Yeah.
now. Like you just stop killing children, man. Like come to the negotiation table and figure out how you are going to be able to live side by side and give them their own state.
People are, this is the issue. It's getting to a point where when you push shit down people's throat that Israel's fine and what they're doing is justified,
Dude.
people push back and they push back
South African
too hard in the wrong direction.
South
and
African apartheid lasted for 300 years.
Yeah.
And the end result, when it all came down to it, all it took was them having enough power, inch by inch, step by step, to saying no.
Yeah.
And then it hitting the global stage and it being everyone's face. There was no stopping that train after that. There was no. Now everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about what's happening in Palestine right now. But what's been happening in Palestine has been happening for 70 years.
Yeah.
So everyone knows now what's been happening for 70 years.
And there's other things, obviously. And so this fucking argument, like we've been getting comments going, why don't you comment on Yemen and Sudan, these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why can't we comment on both?
Yeah.
Why
Dude.
just because something terrible is happening in another country, can we not comment on this?
Dude, I get ridiculed by my own people.
Yeah, right.
About being so vocal about what's happening in Palestine. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, go down my page and see how vocal I am. I am the biggest advocate for black people.
Yeah.
I almost every set or like in any kind of way, I'm the biggest advocate for black people. I'm all about uplifting our people. So when I take five seconds to go address something that's happening over here that is quite crucial,
Yeah.
like just take a back seat for 2 seconds, man.
It's not a thing of like you have to support this.
I am not
and
abandoning.
that. Yeah.
I'm not abandoning my course. Like I'm not abandoning my beliefs. What I stand for. Like something horrible is happening right now that needs to be addressed.
Now, do you think any of this, like real serious question, do you think any of this could be orchestrated to sow division? As in, like,
you can never rule anything out, man. Because like Lord knows how any of this works anyway. Like there's puppet masters that have been around.
it's
Like orchestrating. If we do this, this will get this result. We do this, that will get this result. Like, you know what I mean? Like just like there's an algorithm
yeah,
for how to get views. There's an algorithm on how to like get an end result to something. You know what I mean? So
and like even you see Kanye. Okay, perfect example. Like he's stumbled across what most people sort of unconsciously are aware of, and maybe he's broadly said the word Jewish people in the wrong term. Maybe he should say Zionists or the leaders or the elites at the top potentially. He can't. He's what I can see is he's sort of across it, but just can't fucking articulate it very well at all.
Yeah.
There's a bit of tism going on. I think, man.
Yeah. That's like that drunk uncle.
Yeah.
That is so knowledgeable, but you can't take his information. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he's like, man. He's like, yeah, you got it a little bit, man, but just pump the brakes a little. You're sounding a bit fucking.
That drunk uncle that you just can't take.
Yeah.
Like,
but like you see the text messages that he shared, the screenshots of him, like, and people, I think he was his gym trainer, was just going to make his brain mush again. And you see this happening, and it seems to be common. Like you see, look at Britney, man. Like,
dude. We
at
saw what happened, Britney. Like, there's a list of people, bro.
Look, Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
like,
Whitney.
Yeah.
Like, there's a list of people, bro. Like,
and it's like, then you start to become conspiratorial, and you start going, is there something more to this? Is there like... Is like a Kanye, is he onto something? Not just fucking saying it well, but is he onto something?
That's the thing, man. Like, they'll discredit you eventually. And like, I don't agree with a lot of what Kanye West says.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't agree with so much of what Kanye West says.
Yeah.
But Kanye's got his truth.
Yeah.
That's his truth. You know what I mean? And he's vocalizing his truth. That's his truth.
Yeah.
Who are we to say his truth is not the right one?
To him at that time,
Yeah,
it's all perspective, isn't it? He's saying
exactly.
it, yeah. Well, most people feel like they're doing what's right, even if, I could be commenting on something, feeling like I'm doing the right thing, socially, like social justice for Palestine or whatever. What if in 10 years I find out I've been hoodwinked and Israel was the good guy? And we don't know. I don't think that's the case. But this is the thing. At the time, I feel like I'm doing the right thing for
to be honest with you, I'm revisiting my views on Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Wow. Yeah.
Like
what that guy did for
Africa.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm revisiting my views on Muammar Gaddafi. Like, he was not a saint.
No.
But you can't tell me right now, Libya, after it's been liberated, is a better Libya.
It was pristine conditions.
Oh, dude, it was a paradise.
I think it was. It's been a while since I looked into it, but for like free healthcare, free schooling.
It was a paradise.
Yeah.
Libya was beautiful.
And as soon as
As soon as they got liberated.
As soon as you try to move away from that US dollar and try to create your own gold back.
I'm not saying that there was a conspiracy. I'm just saying I'm revisiting my views on Gaddafi.
I think that's a very good
I'm just
thing to do.
I'm going to reanalyze my views on Gaddafi and do my own research.
Yeah. So what were your views prior to that? Because obviously coming from Africa, it must be something that probably meant a bit to you.
Dude, he was responsible for putting up the first African satellite. He wanted to trade in gold.
Yeah.
So as an African,
can't do that.
Yep. As an African, I've actually just noticed with what's happening with Burkina Faso, right? Like the West have got their hands in our pots.
Oh yeah.
Like France. As soon as Burkina Faso wanted to kick out France, they're like, what do you mean you want us to go?
Yeah.
And they've stolen billions and billions of dollars of gold from Africa, from Burkina Faso. Like, they trade in the French franc, by the way.
Really?
So whenever they need currency, they need to hit up France and be like, yo, we need some more dollars printed. And France gets to decide when they get to do that. They trade in the French franc. France does not trade in the French franc. France uses the euro.
Yeah.
So why is an African country using your currency? Make it make sense. You don't use your currency. Why?
Mate,
So like Africa's starting to open its eyes, and Africa's starting to make a stance. Africa's starting to look out for Africa. There is some corruption in Africa, but you can't say the corruption in Africa is far worse than the corruption that you got, the theft that you have, like billions and billions of dollars a year gets stolen from Africans.
Yeah. But in the West, it's just done subtly and behind closed doors.
But this is done by the French, like by these, like Mali, I think Chad and Burkina Faso. I think they've joined forces and they're going to have their own army. Like, don't quote me on the third country, Mali, but they are looking to unify themselves, and it's a threat. It's a threat to the West. Like you're like, oh yeah, we need to go to Burkina Faso and go liberate them. Like, what liberate? Like, the president has made free healthcare, free education for women to give birth, free, from pre-primary to university, free. Like they've got their own tomato processing plants. They've launched their own car, electric car.
Wow.
Yeah, all of these. There's a list of what Ibrahim Traore has done for his people.
Yeah.
And right now they're talking about we need to go over there and go help liberate them.
Liberate. Mate,
what-
anytime US or any Western society
What
goes, we
liber-
need to go liberate a country.
What
like,
liberation do they need? What
what-
liberation do they need? Like they're thriving right now. They're killing right now.
Yeah.
Like Saudi Arabia was like, hey, let us put up 200 mosques in your country. He's like, no, we're good. We actually need roads, architecture, and other things. We'll get more mosques when the time is right. Our people can pray anywhere. Like, why are they trying to throw stuff that are not necessary?
Yeah.
Why are we not fixing up their roads, putting up more education, more schools, like helping them be able to like turn over their own dollar?
Yeah.
You want to help them? Do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
That's intentional, man. That's,
Yeah, man.
It's
Like,
intentional.
yeah, like give us 200 mosques and then what? We're in debt to you?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Like
Yeah.
you want to help? Invest. Nobody looking for a handout. Invest. Say, hey, I'll give you this, and this will be your return. Invest. No handouts. Africa does not need handouts. Your gold is from Africa.
Yeah.
Like the gold in the Middle East is from Africa, from
Yeah.
Sudan.
Yeah.
Like Sudan ships so much gold like to the UAE. Like Burkina Faso is responsible for like France's gold. Francis came out and said they found fucking $2 billion or 13 trillion tons of gold.
Where did they find that?
In France, they claim they did.
Oh,
but Burkina Faso was like, hey, return back our gold.
Yeah.
Now they've miraculously find all this gold in France, which has never like had gold.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right, buddy.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of fucking I'm convinced almost to a point that the West, we live in the West. We think we're the good guys.
Dude,
I don't know. I'm not convinced we are.
dude, like I root for Venom.
For Venom.
Yeah. Think about Venom,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Think about Venom.
Yeah.
Like we root for Venom.
Well, he's black.
I root for Venom, but is Venom really the good guy? He's almost like Dexter.
Yeah.
He's a vigilante. He's biting people's heads off that are bad. Like he's making his own calls. Venom is a vigilante. Like he's not putting him through court.
Yeah.
He's the judge executioner.
Yeah.
Now, we root for Venom. We root for America. We root for Australia. We root for for our own sovereignty, right?
Yeah.
But that does not necessarily mean that we're the good guys.
No, that's right.
We're not. Like we're
I-
not.
I
The
to a point
CIA
agree,
are
yeah.
not good people.
No, yeah.
Like we root for our interests, right?
Well, actually, I think there's probably more of a nuanced chat about that, but I think there's probably sectors of these organizations and these intelligence agencies that have the best interest at heart. And I truly believe, same with the FBI and these sorts of organizations.
I feel like sometimes you have to get your hands dirty to get a result out.
Agreed.
And it's not a great option, but sometimes it's the only option. I get it.
And it doesn't mean, that also doesn't mean that the top of the top, or there's not bad seeds in there fucking orchestrating some serious shit. And people often say, well, what, are they just like are all the people in charge just bad people? Well, no, but also some of these people are aligned. And when they have, who was it? I can't remember who said it. I want to say Carlin. Anyway, he said you don't need a conspiracy when people's interests align.
Yeah.
And so if they're all interests all align in prosperity for their benefit, then they're all in that same area, then yeah, you don't need to conspire and communicate. You just work towards the same thing.
I also get that if I told my 3 kids, this is what we're gonna do on Saturday, and I know that they're gonna absolutely love this.
Yeah.
What we're gonna be doing on Saturday, but they're opting to do something else, and I have to make it an executive decision, knowing in the very end you are gonna love this, and this is gonna benefit you in the long run.
Yeah.
I know you need to make that call sometimes. And you're not because you want to be a dictator, is because you know what is better for you.
Yeah.
I understand you have to make some hard calls. There's 8 billion people on this earth, right? It's hard to make a decision that's going to benefit everyone at the same time.
And a lot of them are dumb.
Exactly.
Ourselves included at times.
Exactly. Though.
So
Yeah.
it is that thing of, you know, even when it comes to voting,
Yeah.
like you talk to some people in the street
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa, man,
Thank God.
you get the same amount of votes as me.
Thank God the power is not in just your hands.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
just have to appeal to that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there's a lot of them. And however that's done is
Exactly, dude.
yeah. But that's always, I've always found that interesting. And someone raised it to me at work once. This is fucking 10, 15 years ago. And there's this fucking plotter at work who just didn't. He was like impossible to chat to. And he the guy at work, he goes, that guy over there, he gets the same amount of votes as the owner of the company, who's a genius and knows what he's doing when it comes to business, and he's a well-to-do person, and they get the same vote.
Yep.
And
Sometimes-
is that fair? I don't know. It's not, but it is.
Sometimes you got to make a decision whether you want the turd sandwich or the douche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
So yeah, it is a nuanced thing. Sometimes people are making these decisions based, thinking, okay, they might look at a Gaddafi situation and go, yeah, look, we actually think the benefits outweigh the negatives. Maybe they truly believe that.
maybe they did, but remember.
But I don't think that's the case. But yeah,
Like, maybe they did. But remember, you thought the same thing about Saddam having weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
It turned out they didn't. You can't unkill the people that you've killed. You can't take away the 20 years of occupation in Iraq. You can't take back the destabilization of that society.
Oh.
Those people are not better off based on your actions over that 20-year period. The Iraqi people are not thriving right now. You know what I mean? So that was based on your decision to go and invade them. And that
intentionally.
yes, that Afghanistan 20 years, like these are all decisions that are
We're
reflective for your benefit, not theirs.
We see it again and it's the West, and it's saying in Ukraine, Russia. Now, to understand, and this has been said multiple times, famously said by Corey, but to understand Putin's actions is not to condone them because they're terrible, horrific. But the Americans,
once again,
prodding, provoking, and slowly just pushing the boundary.
Once again, I'm revisiting my views on what Russia was. Russia was saying, "Yo, we had an agreement that no NATO bases were going to be anywhere near our borders.
Yeah.
We agreed on this. We shook on this.
Yeah.
This was a part of this agreement.
The dissolvement of
this. So you reneged on this agreement
several times.
So why am I the bad guy right now?
Yeah.
For pushing back. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So it still doesn't justify what they've done, but you understand it.
But I am revisiting my views on it.
Yeah. And so this is the thing where it's like they do proxy wars. They create these situations where the opposition becomes a bad guy. Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, the terrorists.
Yep.
Horrific what they did.
Horrific.
They were forced into creating this situation. They were forced into a situation where had America and the West had come in and fucked up their society so badly. They feel like they're the vigilantes fighting back.
Yes.
And I am of the opinion, no one can convince me that they weren't aware of September 11 and they needed an excuse to go in there, destabilize, keep the war machine going, keep the fucking war manufacturers
Look how
happy.
many people benefit. You get to go in there and get to scope out. Ooh, is this what they? Okay, this is what, like, you got some nice shit. Like you can't do that without full boots on the ground.
It ends up being for me like an idea of that. Let it happen.
Let it play out.
Yeah, let it play out because it's going to benefit in the long run. Pearl Harbor, perfect example. They let them bomb them. Fucking killed a heap of people, but then the American people got behind it and they can go into the war and do what they're doing.
And also, it seems to be, lack of a better word, like training for bigger things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, we neutralize them within 6 months. Okay, so we can do it in 3 months next time. It seems like it's a setup to continuously test out your fucking weapons, try out how quick you can get the assignments and missions accomplished. I don't know.
But this is what happens.
I'm open to information.
Well, this is what's happening now. There's an awakening to it, an awakening to everything. People are revisiting everything.
Yep.
They're like, oh my fucking God, I've been lied to my entire life. I've recently said on the podcast, I've been revisiting the idea of Pauline Hanson not being racist. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what I was told as a kid.
Once again, though, Pauline Hanson fills like she's losing her country.
Yeah.
She feels like she's losing her country. She's seeing people with their faces being covered, and I am not agreeing with Pauline Hanson.
No,
like
correct.
the woman is a freaking. She's a radical. She she would get rid of me in a split second. But I see the fear that she has.
Yeah.
That same fear is the same fear that the indigenous people had when you came.
Yeah.
And now you feel like it's happening to you again.
Yeah.
And because you were so successful in getting your way, you're like, oh crap. This the changing of the guards is happening right now. Now it's their turn, and they're trying to take what we've stolen.
Yeah.
Like-
So it is, but it's one of those flipping of things. Like we go back and we look at every situation over the last 30 or 40 years that we can probably look into it with a bit more depth,
Yeah.
a bit more information, a bit more clarity, a bit more transparency, because there's footage of this sort of stuff. There's email. Well, unless you're Hillary Clinton, there's emails that you can go back and look at. You know, there's declassified information. There's these what are they called? The Freedom of Information.
Yeah.
And so we're starting to see this.
They're good like that. Like most of these stuff are documented, and if you look hard enough, you can find them.
Yeah.
You can
And
turn those rocks.
Declassified information and that we're able to see now, and it just justifies a lot of conspiracies.
Yeah, man.
And so now, once you've seen 10 of them play out, it's like, oh, that was true. And we just seen everything happen with like COVID. The whole thing with COVID, that was obviously very, it was, like I'm so proud as I stayed strong. It'll come back on. I stayed strong.
Pay your bill, man.
I stayed strong with COVID. I didn't get jabbed. I didn't succumb to what I felt at the time was propaganda.
Dude,
I felt like
I wish I'd taken your approach, because I find myself getting bent out of shape for letting them dangle my job in front of me.
and this is the issue, and like I take such pride in the fact that I held strong in that, because
Dude,
the propaganda
so you should.
and
I got jabbed 3 times,
Yeah.
and it was they held my job in front of me. They said, "Would you like to go back out there?
Yeah.
Would you like to fly?
Yeah.
Would you like to be able to go into this building?" Like
it's bullshit, man.
oh,
And so I look at that now and see the trillions of dollars that were spent on the propaganda to try and help me take that product and conform and do what I was told, and I still said no. And there's so many people around
there's
the world.
fake jabs they were giving them as well.
Yeah.
Like remember the needles weren't going in, and
it was pretty crazy what they did to try and get us to conform,
Dude.
And to stay strong in that, I now have a lot of pride in. I didn't realize at the
And so
time
you
how
should.
hard it was, but we're now seeing a lot of people go, "Oh, you did lie." These conspiracy theorists that
Dude.
you called them were
Yeah.
right. You know, there was heart conditions as a risk.
Yeah, man.
There was blood clotting as a risk. There was a lot of shit going on.
we just met with a sorry.
Yes.
We didn't
Well,
know.
I don't even think we've got a sorry.
We
That's-
didn't know what we didn't know. It was strange times back then. There's easy way to justify things that are happening back
And
then. you know
so
what I mean?
I think COVID has woken a lot of people up to not just that, to just question everything. They're
Dude,
questioning like things like September 11, questioning things like Gaddafi, like what you're doing.
Question everything, bro.
Yeah.
Remember, there was a piece of history where Nelson Mandela was considered a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
For saying no.
Yeah.
For saying no, we require our liberty. We require our same democracy that you keep preaching. We require what's ours. He was considered a terrorist, domestic terrorist.
Crazy.
He did 27 years for fighting against the system that was telling him, no, you don't have rights to be in the same building. You can't come and eat in the same table. He did 27 years for saying no. And it was only up until 2008 that he was taken off the terror watch list. Imagine that.
Mate, it's absurd. And this is why now you look at everyone. You look at Saddam, you look at Gaddafi, and you go, were they just rebelling against or were they doing what's right for their people?
Exactly.
And that doesn't conform to what you're supposed to.
Nelson Mandela was considered a terrorist, the domestic terrorist.
Man,
and I'm not comparing him with Hamas.
No.
But I'm saying it was up until 2008. That was only around the fucking corner where he was taken off the terror watch list.
And terrorists only are formed out of desperation.
Exactly.
They don't.
It's like, hey, we tried talking.
Yeah.
We tried begging, and now you're not listening. So it's like when you got a dog cornered.
Yeah.
And then the dog's like, back off.
Yeah.
And eventually you just keep moving closer and closer. The dog's going to fucking bite you. He's got no more choice.
Yeah.
He's got to bite you.
Yeah.
Because you're getting closer and you're closer and you're scaring him. He's getting anxious and he's like, back off. And the words are not working anymore.
Yeah.
So now what he has to do? He has to do the physical thing because
Mate,
apparently you're not listening.
That's a good analogy. Yeah. And that's what I feel like terrorist organizations do. That's not justifying what Hamas did.
Yeah.
Obviously. But that's the same sort of thing. You see it with what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan. Like these organizations are given weapons and trained to overthrow the sitting current governments to commit coups, and then when they become, I guess, upset with the way that they've been treated by the West, they've now got the weapons, they've now got the training, and then go, you fucked up our whole country,
man,
and you're just going to get away with it.
I always say you can't tell me to fuck off where I came from. You destabilized my country, and you use the resources from it to build this one. So this is my country. I mean, as long as this was a British, a British known territory, and as long as Britain was in Sudan, and
it's hard, man.
You utilize some sort of funds that came from my country to build this one. So I am entitled to the Australian dream as well.
And the thing is, I'll clip up stuff from this episode and I'll put them out.
Yep.
And it'll get 50% hate because people have aligned with this ideology of like, nah, this is what it is.
That's fine. Nobody. If you want to be liked by everyone, you're a crazy person.
Yeah,
you're a crazy person.
All you can do is be authentic to yourself at that time.
Be true to yourself. If you're not spreading hate, you're just giving. For Christ's sake, it's my opinion. Well, I can't have an opinion.
Well, this is what I want to get. Like, you know, and it depends on whether you're on or Delby's on with Basil, for example. I want to talk to Basil about like politics. And we'll just have a chat. Like, I want to hear the person.
Okay.
I want to less the politician, but I still am going to talk politics, and I'm going to just ask, like, why? This is the one thing I fucking hate about politics. Why? Why do politicians, instead of just running on their own morals and running on their own policy, decide to run these propaganda things of slandering their opposition, as opposed to just like, hey, this is what we want for our country. This is what we want to be better people. Yeah. They don't run on that, and then they pretend they do, and then we see something like the Northwest Shelf. You know, this I don't know what they've been doing. Like the Albanese government runs on climate change, which I'm not sold on, to be fair. But let's again question everything. But they run basically on climate change and fucking fixing the what is it, the carbon emissions and getting us to net zero.
Yeah.
And then they give this contract to an international company that's going to still put that same fucking carbon into the air. Like,
how they get into office is not what they don't. Very rarely do they do what they. And this is why you gotta give Trump his kudos, man. Like he came in, and I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not anyone supporter.
You did pick him to come hard.
I already said there was no stopping that Trump train. Like it was bound to happen. The people were fed up, and he was a person that was speaking not like a politician, and he was like, he swore. I mean,
he's
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them.
But that's what he.
Yeah, dude. Like he spoke like you and I, and he appealed to the people that felt that they weren't being heard. You know what I mean? And people voted for him in large amounts.
Yeah.
But also because Biden was a useless piece of art.
Like, they lied, man. They just said he was fine for 4 years. Everyone could see it. What do you think? We just made it up at the end when it came out. They were like, oh. Look, no, you're not looking at the start.
He's frail. He's falling upwards. He's like the amount of times that the red flags of him was happening.
Yeah.
And him just having like brain mirrors. Like,
this was in the campaign stage. Dude. In the campaign, people were going, man, that guy can't function correctly. There's something wrong. There's some definite warning signs.
Yeah, exactly. And you did not give people anything to work with. Like, and I think even if it wasn't Biden, like Trump was going to win regardless. Like, just
if it was Hillary, it would have been the same thing. Like, would have been the same thing, except
same outcome. Like Trump was coming back with or without your consent.
Yeah,
it was enough fed up people.
Well, it's the pushback, isn't it?
Yeah, there was enough fed up people to make the, like this was throwing the Mentos in a bottle of Coke
Yeah.
and then shaking it up. You know what I mean? Like there was just way too much pressure and something had to give.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give him his props, man. He's come out and he's, whether I agree with what he's done, he is doing what he said he was gonna do.
Exactly.
Majority of what he said he's gonna do, he's doing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's done almost everything he said he was going to do. He's done. The only thing he didn't stop the war in the first day.
Yeah.
But like the fact that he's even made steps towards
The
peace,
fact that he is
trying.
like disagreeing with Netanyahu, which no one has the guts to say no Netanyahu.
Why doesn't anyone have the guts?
Conspiracy.
Kanye was wrong. Fuck.
You know what I mean? Like, so the fact that he's stood up, he's distanced himself from Bibi, is already a standpoint already right there. When he went to the Middle East, and like didn't like stopping Israel, like he was letting it be known, I'm gonna do this my way.
I was worried, man, because I, as you know, I was definitely on the Trump bandwagon. And and I still obviously have a bit of discernment, understand that like I'm not very keen on this Palantir, I think it's called, thing, the AI contract that he's giving out. That's obviously something I still look at things and go, I don't like that. And the one thing that was fucking concerning me was his relationship with Israel. And I was like, this is scaring me. And now that he's come out and he's distanced himself, and he's like, hey, mate, you are trying to manipulate me here.
Exactly.
Got me back on board.
And Elon was a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, well, Elon, man, like that guy's.
Have you seen the clips? He looks super high, man. Like
he did, man. He looked like.
He's just like,
Yeah, he was fucking tripping that day, but yeah, like Elon or not, he still obviously has shown there's a large number of wastage, and I'm sure you'll go around any government. And
you'll find that,
you'll find it. So, and people can argue he's worked this to benefit him, and he's got contracts out of it. Maybe he has, but like still doesn't take away the wastage that they've found.
Yes.
And then it's throwing the what is it, the bed out with the bathwater, or
yeah.
So they have been shutting down some of these US aid programs.
Especially in South Africa.
And it's damaging for a lot of people as well.
It is.
But that just shows, like, if they hadn't have done this, they've actually had to go, well, we have to stop everything so we can audit everything and find out what was actually going towards people, and then we can implement it. But then I guess the danger is, look what happens, though, in the meantime. Yeah,
but, like, how do you... like, it's America's choice, right? Like, they get to choose who it is that they...
give money to,
can help. Cause it's like your neighbor being upset for you showing favor to the other neighbor on the other side, just because you've got a better relationship with them, or because your two wives get along together. Like, you know what I mean? Like a house on fire. Like it's their choice at the end of the day. It's their money. But remember, like you can see that like them being hypocrites in a way. Like how do you choose 56 white South Africans that are being genocide has been committed upon them? Do you remember the photos he was showing?
Yeah.
that was the Congo.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the Congo.
Oh, fuck.
Like saying farmers, like that was the Congo.
Yeah, okay.
Like so, like all these and the farmers that were being killed. There was not just white South Africans; there was black ones as well.
So I don't know enough about the Congo and South Africa and stuff and what's going on there. Why is the Congo such a corrupt, or what's going on with Congo?
It's been destabilized for such a long time. You know what I mean? And like lithium, like I don't know how much of the percentage of the world's lithium comes out from that.
Which is all our batteries. And
your iPhone, your Teslas are all being fueled by what comes out of the Congo.
And that's because it's a very lithium-rich place?
Yeah, got a lot of gold, a lot of minerals.
Yeah.
A lot of minerals and natural resources come out of the Congo. So that's the thing. Like
Africa's fucking immense,
Africa's got all of it.
It's huge.
So the fact that people keep speaking about Africa like Africa is so poor, Africa's poor. Like if
it's poor because we're taking it.
Yeah, if Africa's poor, believe me, you are poorer.
Yeah.
Like you've got less money than Africa.
Well, this is the
only thing is there's a lot of proxies and a lot of things that happen, putting people into certain positions because that person's going to like favor you in business and trades and stuff like that. You're not necessarily doing it for the right reasons.
And this is what we're seeing this on a far smaller scale. Well, not a far smaller scale. We're seeing it on a similar scale in Australia with our minerals and resources just being sold off to international investors.
Yep.
They don't pay the taxes. They don't pay the royalties. And if they pay royalty, it's fucking minor.
Yep.
We're not getting any money of this. And then
Africa's getting less.
Yeah, well, and it's similar, obviously.
Africa's getting less.
Probably to extent even worse. But so that's just that perfect example of like the people at the top. They're getting,
benefiting
into bed with the right.
Yeah.
Well, some might call it the right organisations, and
like my country, Sudan. Like our president is damn near probably worth $1 billion. Like
fuck.
How do you do that with an annual salary of like 400,000, if that?
Yeah,
that's the annual salary of an American president, isn't it? Like 450.
I think it's I can't remember. It's like $200,000 or $400,000.
Yeah, I think it's like 400,000.
I think Trump donates all his. I think.
Yeah, he said, "Give me $1 if you have to pay me."
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure it's 400,000.
Yeah.
So how is an African president got a net worth of an annual salary of 400,000 and be a billionaire?
Yeah.
I mean, so like, there's a lot of corruption in Africa, and I understand that, but it all starts with educating and putting the right people in place. And if the people can't vote for the right person, then what you're actually doing is they're pocketing everything.
Yeah.
For that rainy day, they're waiting for, like, that rainy day.
Yeah.
It's like when I lose,
when I need something,
or when I'm finally need to step down, I can have a fortress and the army protect me for the rest of my life. Because once you lose that presidency,
you're fucked.
Yeah, so like you need to collect all those bars of gold to ensure that your
security.
Yeah, your security for the rest of your life.
Well, and obviously it's very different in Australia, but like you look at Mark McGowan, he doesn't need security, I guess, to a point, but he gets.
Do you remember John Howard? Remember that famous video of John Howard going jogging, and someone ran up and hugged him, and he had a pair of scissors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but obviously there are security things.
And he was the prime minister then.
Yeah, and I'm sure actually Mark McGowan does need security to a point. Like
no, but he was running. I'm pretty sure he was running on his own.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Our prime ministers don't have there's that footage. You can look it up.
Yeah.
Like John Howard was like going like I don't know if he was jogging, but he's had a little sweatsuit on, and someone ran up and went to go. He had a pair of scissors in his hand.
Fuck.
Luckily, the person did not have any malice intentions.
Yeah,
but
just,
like
that
could have been
very easily
that assassination attempt.
But getting back to what I was getting at was like he, instead of getting all this money to have a fortress and all this security, he gets a cushy job with BHP, who he's given all their contracts to and made sure that they've been able to get all these offshore companies that, so like that's how they do it the same way. It's just like, well, okay, you scratch our back now. When you're finished up as Premier, you'll get a cushy $1 million a year fucking consulting job. So it is at the top. It is like, it just seems to be, if you go against what has been told you have, if you go against the narrative and what you're supposed to do and who you're meant to benefit, you're going to have dirt thrown at you. You're going to have a slander. You're going to see exactly what's happened with Trump.
Yeah, you remember that famous saying, "You don't make friends with salad."
Yeah.
You gotta grease the wheels a little bit.
But I don't think anyone's perfect. I don't think Trump's perfect. I think I think he's better than worse, but I think his worse is there's still some bad shit.
I think we're more so required just to pick the lesser of the evils. I mean, you're like, oh, okay, well, he kills sometimes, but at least he ain't graping.
Well, going back to the Gaddafi stuff, look at Hillary. She's just like, we came. What was it? We came, we saw, he died, and laughed about it.
Oh man!
And this is a guy who had done so well for his country.
Yeah, man.
I think people were getting paid to go to university from memory. The list of things.
Dude, I'm telling you, the stuff.
No debt.
The stuff that Gaddafi did for his people is biblical, bro.
I think he was passing on a percentage of the profits of the oils and stuff man. Yeah, Libya was...
The country's in shit now. If you have a look at what Libya looks like. I remember there was a time my boy Caleb, Somalian fella, he's like one of my bigger homies. he went to Syria to go get some dental done.
Okay.
And I remember he took like plenty of videos and plenty of photos and stuff. Syria was a paradise. Syria was beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Like beautiful.
Yeah.
If you look at Syria right now, like or what it was a few years ago, it's like it's a replica of what Palestine was. It just was run down, bombshells hit everywhere. Like Syria was beautiful when my boy Caleb went down there to go get his dental. Like that was one of, like, you know how people would go to Turkey to go get the
the hair. They go there for dental.
So,
Okay.
So well, he had. I'm sure his family had some sort of information on, like, you can get like free, not free, but like cheap dental done there.
Yeah.
So he went to Syria. Like Syria of all places was a paradise. It was beautiful. I remember I saw it myself of how beautiful it looked.
Interesting.
But it's not what the current Syria is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it looks like now, but like after the war. You know what I mean? So
Right.
all of this, let's go liberate and stabilize them. It's code word for destabilize.
Yeah. Well, it seems like, because they were trying to blame chemical attacks.
Yeah, Assad, was it?
Yeah, and they were trying to blame it on them, and then it found out it was. I'm going to quote this wrong, so I don't want to comment on it. But it was not Assad. It was you know when it was. So America, Trump had just announced. I remember this going play by play. Trump announced the day before. He's like, we are moving to remove ourselves from Syria, and we're going to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah.
I remember that day going, fuck, he's doing exactly what I like. From my point of view, like, I could see these wars happening, and I was like, he's doing exactly what we want. This is so good. That day, there was a chemical attack by Assad on his own people, and Trump's gone, well, he's been given the information that it's Assad, so I have to respond. And then had to do the opposite. Instead of removing themselves, they've had to, I think they fired missiles at a military base from memory. But it was like, it was a play-by-play. It's like, okay, we're going to leave.
Just when I think I'm out, you pull me back in.
Yeah, and you're like, and it was said to be an Assad attack, and then it came out like months later, vindicated in my thoughts of like suspicion.
Yeah.
And you see like, it was their own people. There was crisis actors. It wasn't even real to a point.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, what sort of world are we living in where they're faking this sort of stuff, or they're doing it on their own people, and then you realize, well, America's been doing it to their own people for fucking years. So, it's just a tactic, isn't it?
There's a lot that needs to happen back home for the Americans. There should be no reason why you're sending billions and billions of dollars a year.
Well, and
to Israel, why you got homeless people to, like, the world is laughing at you.
Well, the people would then argue, go, well, why do you need the support of your own people to be able to go in and start a war like that? You are in charge
because it is their money.
You won't get re-elected.
Yeah, and it's their money.
Yeah,
as long as you're taking their tax-paying dollars, it's that, like, they get a choice in this. You won't get re-elected. Like, you want to go rogue and do something right now, you won't be re-elected again.
Yeah.
And not only will you not be re-elected again, that party that you represent will have a lesser chance of being favored.
Yes, and that's why you need things like Pearl Harbor. You need things like the Gulf of Tonkin incident, where they fake an attack on their own people so they can go into Vietnam. They fake. What was the? I think is it Northwoods? Anyway, the released documents for the CIA planning to bomb their own people, blaming it on Cuba so they could go in, and Kennedy shut it down.
Yeah.
And then, well, fucking surprisingly, he got killed. But, these were plans that they had. They were going to bomb their own people to justify them going in and starting
and
this
that's because they were worried
liberation.
That's because they were worried that Russia was going to put a missile in Cuba. Remember?
Yeah.
The Cuban missile, remember?
Yeah, Cuban missile.
They're worried about Russia setting up right at their fucking front door.
On their border, yeah.
Yeah.
And
which is what Russia is
which
saying.
is ironic, isn't it? Like, fuck, you just...
The irony, bro. The irony is so crazy.
And it's like, we see it all, man.
Yeah.
Everyone sees this.
The same reason why you want Greenland.
Yeah.
Is the same reason why Russia's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck off from Ukraine.
Yeah,
leave it.
It's the same reason.
Yes.
Same reason. Like look at it from start learning to look at it from another person's perspective.
Yeah. And
like, if you want Greenland for that reason, you want Canada for that same reason, make it make sense why you are saying what Russia's doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
It is
You can't paint it any fucking cleaner.
correct. And that's not to condone, again, we don't have to say it. That's not to condone what Russia's done, but that's to understand you fucking forced his hand.
Yeah, and you are trying to do the exact same thing that he is trying to prevent you from doing. Cuba,
I feel like I'm in a fucking
dude,
mental asylum.
I'm getting sick of trying to explain to people why bombing and killing children is wrong. Like, it's getting exhausting, bro. It's mentally taxing, dude. It's mentally taxing.
What and to come back to that, because obviously it is a horrific thing, but then people align with these sides. They have like a tribalistic nature where they go, Israel can do no wrong. They'll start to separate Zionism from Jewish and all these sorts of issues, but they'll align themselves with ideas and then just staunchly sit there no matter what. And even faced with like, hey, you're killing innocent children and women and parents and civilians, they'll say, well, it's justified because of this, instead of going, fuck, that's pretty bad.
Someone needs to ask the right questions. Like, hey, Netanyahu, if your child was one of those hostages, would you be bombing the shit out of Palestine the same way you're doing it right now?
Now, why, and this is a good question, why can they tell us how many Hamas terrorists they've killed?
They can't, bro.
But they can't tell us many innocent civilians have.
I am giving Piers Morgan his props right now. He did an interview with the
UK Israeli minister,
minister, and he's saying, why is Israel killing babies? And she's like, Israel is not killing babies. He's like, no, Israel is killing babies, and they're doing it every single day. Stop being so sly about it. Like, we see it. Israel is killing babies. How is it that you can say how many Hamas terrorists you've killed, but you can't tell us how many children you've killed?
I did say that.
Like, and you got to give kudos.
Yeah.
Better late than never, Piers Morgan. But kudos for speaking up, because wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong. That's perfect.
And if I can't differentiate what wrong is, then how am I supposed to teach my kids what the difference is with wrong?
And that's both ways.
So teach us what's wrong is wrong, and acknowledge what's wrong is wrong. That way I can acknowledge my wrongdoings, and I can teach my kids about my wrongdoing, so they know what their wrongdoings can be. And then we can have that pyramid of the information trickling down the right way.
Yeah.
Because if my children are watching this and we are justifying what's happening in Israel, and we're saying, no, Israel has every right to defend itself, it's fine to kill babies, we're teaching that to our kids. That's what we're telling our kids. So differentiate what's wrong and differentiate what's right.
Yeah.
Because we have to regurgitate that information to the next. You know what I mean? And if we can't do that, then we might as well just shut the fuck up about Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, we might.
Mate, it's, again, these are like the clips that we see on social media do not justify a nuanced discussion around these topics. And we'll say this, and I'll clip this up, and then people will go, yeah, rah, 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 and they'll fight for one side. Yeah. Whereas, like, hey, wrong is wrong. You've worded it correctly.
Wrong is wrong.
On both ways.
Yeah.
And if Hamas or Palestine,
let's call them out.
Yeah,
let's call them out. Let's call them out, and let's keep that same energy we did with Russia. If Lord forbid, freaking Germany decides they're going to invade France, and we see that what Germany's doing is wrong, we're going to be like, Germany, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yep.
We, all across the board, we know what's wrong. We can all vocalize what's wrong. But if we start cherry picking and doing mental gymnastics about what is wrong and what is right, and we know that is a fucking orange, and you're telling me that's an apple.
Well, mate, like, you used that point before. Like, if it was happening to us, would we want people to be? If China was
exactly,
and let's be perfectly Francis, fucking, if China wants to invade Australia and take us over, I mean, silently they've already done it by owning our land.
We are so vocal, about China. Stay away from Tibet. Tibet, that's not yours.
Yeah,
China's like, no, well, it is actually. I want to unify Tibet. No, China, what you're doing is wrong. You can't say that, but then say what Israel is doing is correct. Because let's just figure out what... We should just stop everything and just figure out what the word wrong and right means. And then once we predetermine that, then we can start putting stuff in front of us and be like, okay, so when China tries to take over Taiwan and they're willing to bomb babies. Oh no, you can't bomb babies. Okay, so we can't do that. So Israel tries to bomb babies in Palestine. Oh no, we weren't letting China do it. So we're gonna have to. Sorry, Israel.
Wrong is wrong is
sorry,
wrong.
Israel. We already told China you can't kill babies. So unfortunately, you are unable to kill babies now because since yesterday we've determined what wrong is. And real quick, you're gonna have to pay for the damages you did, by the way, because you were wrong and people were saying that, and our bad. We should have seen what you're saying. But we're going to have to rectify this right now, just like we did when Germany fucked up everything. You had to fix it. So, like, wrong is wrong. If you're predetermined to be wrong, fucking make it right.
Yeah.
You can't bring back those babies.
Well,
but make it fucking right.
And this is like a part that's going to be really challenging for a lot of people, is being the bigger person.
Got to be the bigger person.
And no matter what's been done to you,
yeah,
to go, okay, if you're willing to move forward in a positive way, then that's the way forward. But how many people, how many countries, how many governments are going to see it like that?
That's the thing. I feel everybody is worried about accountability. So if you start acknowledging what you've done is wrong, there's a whole country that you'd have to repair.
Yeah,
because you've leveled a whole country. Like, who knows how long that how much that would cost? But remember, when the World War happened, and Germany was determined to be wrong, they, instead of putting their soldiers in prison, put them out to work. They sent them to different countries to go repair the damages that they did, because this was your doing. And murder's not murder when you're at war. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Murder's not murder when you're at war. You did fuck up my front yard though. So you can't bring back my kid, but you can fucking do my fucking gardening. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Put up my house.
Yeah.
You put down my house. You put it back up again.
Yeah.
Because this was a casualty of your wrongness.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are gonna still have to talk about you killing my kid, by the way. But right now, I need you to fix up my house because I can't sleep outside.
Yeah.
This was your wrongdoing. Fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it.
And that's going to be really difficult.
That's gonna be difficult because it requires you wanting to take accountability.
Oh, it'll require Palestinians and the world to then go,
forgive.
We're going to forgive you if you don't continue to do this, and we live in peace and harmony.
Yeah.
And then they have to buy into that and live in peace and harmony. And then the Palestinians have to be like, I'm not angry anymore. Let's just move on. It's fucking hard. That's a nuance.
It's a slippery slope, bro.
And the other way.
Exactly. It's a very slippery slope. And for that same reason is why some of these countries, like when the United Kingdom left India, and they stole the little jewel.
Yeah.
If you were to take accountability, it would mean you'd have to return back the spoils of your wrongness.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, that was normalized back then. Yes, it's wrong now, but unfortunately we can't return it back to you. Because that would require return back fine art, like diamonds that are encrusted, that rare and like
and they've been sold off, and
that it would damn near like it will bankrupt you.
Yeah.
So no one wants accountability for that, because if you start that's the same reason why they don't want to give reparations back to black people.
So is there a part, and this goes to everything. This goes to COVID. This goes to everything. Is it people want accountability?
Yeah.
But do we have to move past the accountability and just more acknowledge this was wrong, this is what happened, and we apologize if we were part of that?
Yeah.
We need to move forward and not make that mistake again. Now, that is a fucking bitter pill to swallow for the people who have been oppressed.
That's a bitter pill to swallow, and it takes the world going into therapy.
Fuck.
We'd have to go on a global therapy session where we need to figure out how we can move on and move forward. But it's such a bitter pill to swallow, because that is for the longest. For example, like black people have been looking for reparations. African Americans and like the Caribbeans have been looking for reparations for the longest, right? I think America, what is there, like how many? What's the population of African Americans?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably like maybe 400. No, hang on.
Well, they got like 350 million or something.
Yeah, I think it's like 40 million is black.
Okay.
Like 40 mil. So that 48 mil, I think, is black. You can look up the statistics. That would require giving $48 million. If you gave $1 mil to each African American as reparations, I think that is quite achievable. You gave us invisible money. America gave the Jewish people reparations for what Germany did. They didn't do it, but they gave them reparations. England paid off the slave owners that lost wages when they made slavery illegal.
Yeah.
They made the
reparations.
And it came in the form of the British people paying for it out of their tax. They said, "Hey, all slave owners will be able to we'll pay you for your lost wages."
Yeah.
So if you're like a black British person, up until recently, your taxes were helping pay for the freedom of your ancestors.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they got reparations. The slave owners got reparations.
Yeah.
So they don't want to give black people reparations. In America, for instance, if the population is of African Americans is 48 mil, like you are refusing to give $48 million, but you give that during COVID, that invisible money that you gave out to people, that out tripled it. Like,
well, what 40 million people? 48 million people. But if you were give them all $1 million, that would be 48 million a million. So what's that? Is that 48 trillion?
Yeah, but
I don't know. That's a lot. I don't know what my math is.
Like if you have to give 48 million people, like
$1 million, or would you give them $1 million? Probably not $1 million.
Yeah, or free education.
Yeah.
Allow a property since they helped build that country. Free education so they can self determine and learn how to better finance themselves. So and then that would be the end of that conversation.
So you think not only do you acknowledge and you and apologize and move forward, you think there needs to be some sort of remuneration back to the people who have been wrong?
Well, a part of the agreement back with reparations was America had promised that. They had promised the descendants of slavery 40 acres and a mule.
Wow.
That was a promise that they gave.
Wow.
Help us with this war, you'll be given 40 acres and a mule. After the fact, they reneged on that.
Yeah, wow.
So you promised something, then took it back. Something that you knew, you got this building right now because of the backs of free labor from black people. Then you promised them, but you were so quick to give the Jewish people, hey, so bad what the German Nazis did. Here, take this money. Why are you apologizing for it? Why are you paying them reparations? You know what I mean?
It's an interesting thing, isn't it? It requires such a long nuance.
The world would need the whole world would need therapy.
And this is the thing. Could you just go, like, in my mind, and then this sounds terrible. Like, I understand this idea of rebuilding. Hey, it was my fault. I rebuild.
Yeah.
But, like, once that's done, is it just like, okay, we move forward. Nothing's happened. This is clean slate.
I would be happy with that.
Yeah.
I would be happy with that.
I think that's what the world needs with everything. Like potentially, and even that, like, it might be difficult to do the opposite, to rectify. It might be a point where you go,
yo, look, listen, what had happened.
Yeah.
We do apologize. I wish
we can't make up for what we've done, but we won't do it going forward.
I can't make up for what my great grandparents did. I understand that I'm a recipient of that wealth.
Yes.
I apologize, like Kevin Rudd did.
Let's move forward.
Please forgive me.
Yeah.
And moving forward, I'm gonna do better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do better.
Yeah.
Maybe it just takes that acknowledgement. Maybe.
And I think I think that's all that will ever be possible, because eventually you'd have.
I've had my lady pissed off with me.
And
upset with me for 3-4 days.
Really?
And I didn't know how to make things right.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised what a hug and a sincere apology does.
Sincere.
Yeah, like, yo, I was tripping, man. Like, my apologies, man. Like,
100%.
I'm a look within in future and hopefully, like, I can come to this revelation faster than what I had. How long it took for me to come up to it.
Well, I think that's what the world requires to heal and evolve, is for me to show you love and you to show me love in response.
Yeah, reciprocal.
And that creates something far greater than just an apology and moving on and we're not going to talk. This is
we can lead with love.
It's fucking, and that is very difficult from the viewpoint of the oppressed, the tortured, the killed, the kids in Gaza. That is a
Yeah, man.
fucking difficult bitter pill to
Yeah,
swallow.
man. And like, to be honest with you, like, how long did it take to recondition people from past conflicts? You know what I mean? Like,
Is that rain, bro?
yeah, that was
We got the
thunder.
fucking. We got the apocalypse outside. Jesus.
That's
Oh, God's come to smite us. You talking about my people?
Time to start over again.
Oh, fuck, man. I was going to tell ghost stories today, but I think we've done fucking well just talking about this
that
sort
was
of
fun.
stuff and
Yeah.
forgiveness. And I think that's the big one, man. Forgiveness.
It's one of the.
That comes back to everything, not just these sorts of things. This comes down to like even just quarrels within your family.
Yeah.
Maybe partners, your bosses, whatever. Forgiveness and not expectation of receiving something in return. Just forgive.
You actually
move forward.
What you don't realize is by forgiving, actually, you actually end up freeing yourself.
Yeah.
You end up freeing yourself.
Forgiveness and freeing yourself. That's a fucking.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end it, man. I think that's been very good. I've liked that episode.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it as well.
Mate.
It's always a pleasure coming in with you guys, man. I know it's just you today,
Yeah.
but like I love coming in here. Obviously, I'm going to keep coming back. It's a home field. You know what I mean? It's home field for me. So,
mate, it's fucking awesome. And you talk about doing therapy at the start. That's what this episode felt like, a bit of therapy.
yeah, it did. I think the world should do some therapy. Yeah, you ain't gotta think that you need it. Like, guess what? You never know that you need it. It doesn't take someone telling you that you need it. Just go give it a try. Sometimes it just takes talking to someone and having someone listen, and that is a form of therapy.
I love it, man. The world needs therapy. That's a very good point. Anything you want to plug?
Yes, dude. If you'll be able to chop this up.
Yeah, of course, man.
I've got my. So I'm back home right now. I'm back home right now. Shout outs to Perth. Here on tour. I've got my show. Let's start again. Yo, what's up, Perth? It's your boy. What's up, Perth? It's your boy Emo Majok. I'm live at the Hard Yarns podcast right now. I'm on tour. I've got my show at the Record Bite June 8th. Emo Journey to the US. Get those tickets, man. 100% of the proceeds will go towards me my US journey. So yeah, you can be a part of that. I see you this Sunday 7 p.m. at the Record Bite. Peace, Perth.
You. Well, actually, are you here June 12th?
No, I fly out the next day. Yeah. What's happening June 12th?
Squealing Pig, me and Wolfie's room, at the St. Henry's. Yep. So running Squealing Pig. So we're doing a bit of fun stuff. Listeners, please start to buy some tickets. I haven't really sold it really well, to be honest. So I don't even know how ticket sales are going. But come down, because what we're going to do is like a form of the barrel pool. That they do over in at a lot of clubs, I guess. Pick out a topic, but we're going to have it out of a piggy bank. So pull the topic out, and the comedian will riff on that halfway through their set, and it should be a bit of fun, man. So
that's what's up.
But yeah, sick. If you want to join Patreon, join. If not, cheers for coming, and thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right,
Catch you later.